solving mysteries in the night. She's the shadows finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be. For justice wheels keep turning, Granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When Granny's crime busters ride, no victims left in vain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Good to see you guys. Hello, Ginger, K9. Good to see you. Sam, hello. Ah, so, yeah, how is little Ginger doing? We want to know. So we are going to be, let's just say Mr. Yummy did it again. So we're going to watch him do another statement analysis on Katie. Very interesting. But before we do that, we are going to do our spotlight on the missing with Granny. So, Sina DeLong is age 17. She's female, red hair, brown eyes, 5'1", 140 pounds. She may possibly be in the areas of Chattanooga, Tennessee, or Ringgold, Georgia. So she went missing on April 9th from Chattanooga. If anybody knows anything, please say something. Call 911, Chattanooga Police Department, or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. All right. The next one that we have is Amaya Bloker. Sometimes these names are a little bit difficult, but as long as I'm showing her picture, we should be okay, right? So Amaya is 15. She's a female with black hair, brown eyes, 5'1", 117 pounds. She went missing from Goodlettsville, Tennessee. She's been missing since April 5th. She was last known to be at her residence in Goodlettsville, Tennessee on April 5th. She was last seen wearing a red and black Scarface t-shirt, flannel sleeping shorts, and a True Religion black hooded sweatshirt. So again, if you know anything, please say something. Call Goodlettsville Police Department or 911 or the TBI 1-800-TBI-FIND. Right? So there are 2 missing for today. Spotlighting those from Tennessee. And again, guys, if you have any that you want me to highlight, please feel free to email me the information. I'm happy to highlight those people. It doesn't necessarily have to be Tennessee. I started Tennessee because there's so many missing from Tennessee, and that's why I did it. That's good to hear. She's doing well, learning how to live on soft food. Awesome. Gotta love Tennessee, right? Yeah. Well, I figure there's so many missing from Tennessee, we'll start there, but it doesn't mean that we won't address other places as well, right? I could do probably 10 a day, which I don't have time for, and I still wouldn't make a dent in the number of missing children's cases, right? Because they say there's an average of 2,300 that go missing in the United States every day, guys. That's just horrendous, in my opinion. So, we'll start there and we'll go from there. And what's really sad is that many of these I'm looking up, there's no newscast on them, nothing, other than what's on the missing flyer. There is nothing about them out there. And how wrong is that, right? A person could do a channel just on missing people alone, right? Yeah. Tennessee has 2% of the population, yet 25% of the missing are in Tennessee. Thanks to Neuro, who figured that out for us. But yeah, it's horrible, guys. It's horrible. Breaks my heart. And you can't help but wonder, where are the parents in these scenarios, right? Many of these kids, each doesn't even know what they left in. What clothes they were wearing. Hello, chemistry. Good to see you. All right. So, without further ado, we are going to get into Mr. Yummy's analysis of Katie. It's the year mark interview. I think he just picked up where he left off from before. And of course, this is the one where she got her eyes closed right from the get-go. So, let's go ahead and get started.
His jokes, the way he laughs when he tells a funny. He had this like half gallon of green tea that he had gotten from the grocery store, and he thought of this joke, and he ran in the kitchen and he grabbed a green cup and he was like, "Mom, green tea."
That's Katie Proudfoot telling a journalist about her missing son, Sebastian Rogers, but you'd be forgiven for not knowing that based on how much fun she seems to be having. After all, even the journalist said that she could sense joy. So in today's video, let's continue watching the rest of this interview and spotting all the red flags. If you're not aware, this is my fourth video analyzing this interview. If you haven't seen parts 1 through 3, don't worry, I'll link my playlist at the end. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit like and subscribe for early access to
So even the journalist said she felt joy when Katie was talking about that. Guys, we have shown it before in here, haven't we? The green tea video. And I love that video of Sebastian. It was the 1 year mark that they did with Holly Thompson. The interview with Holly Thompson. It's the 1 year mark. So would have been a couple months ago. But anyway, talking about the green tea video, we all loved it, right? But guys, did you feel joy when you watched that video? I don't know about you, but my heart was breaking when I watched that video. My heart was breaking that a young man wasn't important enough to his mom and stepdad to keep around. my heart was breaking. And I think that's why I love that video so much, because it shows Sebastian's personality. That's not joy, in my opinion. Hello, Melissa. Good to see you. So, you know, yeah, that just irritates me. But let's
New
go on.
videos, exclusive videos, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. As I said, we're going to be wrapping up the interview and then looking back at their most bizarre statements from earlier parts of the interview. So before we grab our deception decks and start analyzing, here's a quick recap of what I mean by that. On your screen now is a leakage card from my deception deck, if you want the entire breakdown. But the gist is that liars can unintentionally reveal the truth through their choice of words. If someone repeatedly uses a bizarre phrase or word, it might be worth looking into. Like all the cards in the deception deck, I've included a real-world example, but if you've been here for a while, you'll know that we've used leakage in multiple true crime cases now, and even when we look back with 2020 hindsight, the leakage is apparent. All right, without further ado, let's pick up where we left off.
Oh. I sense lots of joy that's being missed right now.
Green tea.
His jokes, the way he laughs when he tells a funny. He had there's a video that I put out that he was being goofy, and he had this like half gallon of green tea that he had gotten from the grocery store, and he thought of this joke, and he ran in the kitchen and he grabbed a green cup and he was like, "Mom, green tea." And it was just so funny, and I was just like, "Dude, hold on, you got to do that again." And I grabbed my phone and I was like, "You got to do it again." And he was like, "Green tea." And he was just like, it's not in the video, but he was just rolling because he just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And
He's got some quirky one-liners.
oh God, he was getting he was getting to where he had some good ones.
Feels like a great sense of humor.
It was definitely developing. He was coming into his sarcasm. You know, like one of the other videos I released, when it's hard to hear, but we were bowling, and because he has a lot of fun with it. He actually was getting a lot better without bumpers. But he like rolled a good roll, and he turns around and he's like, "You got wrecked, Mom." And I was just like, what is happening right now? But I mean, I miss that, you know.
No leakage yet, at least none that I caught, but don't worry, it's coming. I just wanted to pause here to remark on all this laughing and giggling and the actual stories that Katie's telling. Everybody grieves differently, at least that's what I've been told. But there's typically parameters, and when it's the mother of a missing child on TV, typically when she's wistfully reminiscing about her kid, she's telling stories that are endearing, not just anecdotes for the sake of being funny, and especially not anecdotes that put the kid in a bad light, like "You got wrecked, Mom." And that's because these wistful reminiscences are done for a purpose, typically, like we saw with Desiree Young, the mother of Kyron Hormone, who I think sincerely had nothing to do with her son's disappearance. When she talked about him in the past, it was to make the audience feel like they needed to help him, to have a bond with him, that he was a sweet little boy, that he had a great relationship with his brother, that he was someone who was loved and worth saving. The stories that Katie's telling just don't seem to have that purpose, which makes me wonder why she's telling them. What actually endeared him to me were the stories his biological father, Seth Rogers, told. Those were stories designed to make me feel like I needed to urgently help him, that he was loved, and that he needed to be found right away.
Your ex-wife allowed Sebastian to be in a situation where he was molested and raped?
In California, in Chris in her apartment. They let a child who was 5 years older than my son play with my son and didn't bother to check on him there neither. And he lost his innocence because of it.
Seth, I'm so sorry to hear this. I'm so sorry to hear this. No child should be subjected to any kind of abuse whatsoever. Sexual abuse can be especially traumatic for a young child. Is this something that Sebastian has struggled with since then?
Yeah, finally was able to actually start getting him therapy for it last year. The fact is that they weren't doing the correct thing, clearing California. And it's just last year finally getting him help because he's a victim. And now I'm finding out not only was, he was a victim of that, he's a victim of not getting the help he needs. And, I've listened to some of their podcasts where they make fun of him, make fun of his dancing. Chris obviously has this thing about corporal discipline with him. And it's just, it's not good.
Seth, I'm so
I
sorry.
need to find my son,
Right.
and he's going to need extensive therapy now to put him back on the right track.
The contrast is unmistakable. One paints him as a boy who can take care of himself and is brash. The other as a victim who needs help. Our help. All right, let's keep listening.
Was around and he's like, "You got wrecked, Mom." And I was just like, what is happening right now? But I mean, I miss that, I miss being able to hang out with him, because he's not little anymore, which we had a lot of fun when he was little, but when they get older, you start being able to do different things with them. And game nights are, God, they're a blast sometimes.
We didn't have pool days this year.
Pool days. That's big in the summer. He loves to go to the pool as much as possible. Swims. Oh God, he wants to swim. He's I don't know if I put that picture out or not, but there's one that I took of him. He has on this like giant, I think it was a flamingo, and he was just like just being a cool guy.
Being a fun kid. For our viewers, before we end this, I guess your message for them is just keep hope alive.
Yes. Remember him.
Keep looking.
Share his face, because talking about him is what we want to do, but we want to make sure that people know his face. We want to know that people know who they're looking for. And we would just ask that everyone just kind of be aware of your surroundings in general. You never know. And all it takes is just one person that could make a difference. And go ahead.
I would say, if anything, constantly being vigilant, just looking out there, aware of what your surroundings are. Please, if you see something, call 911, call TBI. I know there's a lot of other things out there, but
We would encourage.
it needs to be segregated, like just a single point of right back to law enforcement. That's where it needs to go. Anybody that sees anything, just report it, please.
Do you feel that there's someone out there right now that knows something? They're just not saying it?
It's hard to say until we can run down this video and figure out what we're seeing. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to, it's because it's an active investigation. I don't want to add any more
rumor
chaos that's already out there. We just want to keep this to the core, Sebastian.
In my last video, I pointed out something that Katie said, which I thought could potentially be leakage, or her revealing through her word choice that she knows that Sebastian is buried somewhere. And that's when she said, if he were to come in through the front door, she would bulldoze him with hugs. I pointed it out because it's such a bizarre choice of words and an expression I've never heard before. So as we continue listening on in this interview, we're going to listen out for words related to digging and hiding things in the earth, whether it's digging machinery or words related to the soil or anything along those lines. That was a clip from one of my earlier videos analyzing this interview, and it's why I'm pausing now, because of what Chris just said. When he thinks about finding Sebastian, he thinks about getting to the core of things, which could be leakage about him thinking about something in the earth, as in the core of the earth. Now, is this a long shot? Of course it is. And if it were the only example of leakage like this, I wouldn't even be noting it. But it's not. As I said in that clip, when Katie thought about Sebastian coming home, her brain went to bulldozers of all things. And if I were to play the rest of that clip, I was pointing out two other things that she said: that they should leave no stone unturned, and that they need to get to the bottom of things. Again, on their own, these are nothing. They're common expressions, but enough drops make a river. So we're noting it.
This to the core, Sebastian.
Keeping hope alive.
Yes.
The
Keeping
search
hope
goes
alive.
on. We are hopeful and we are praying for you.
Thank you.
Mhm. We appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Which is to viewers.
My message would be, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for helping spread his flyer, his story.
That's the end of the interview. So here's a quick montage of all the ground and burial related leakage we've caught in this interview alone. As I already pointed out, Katie said I would bulldoze him with hugs. She would leave no stone unturned, and they need to get to the bottom of things. In the comments, many of you pointed out that they said we are going to keep digging rather than some alternative like we're going to keep searching or we're going to keep looking. Others pointed out phrases Katie used like bottomless pit or even falling to the bottom of the social media feed. And one of my favorites, because it's such a long shot, when Chris talked about it being like Groundhog Day, which has to do with dirt and holes. This one really resonates with me as well because it contradicts what they said in another part of the interview. They said that having a missing child was like a roller coaster where every day is different. So the fact that then the next breath they said that it's like Groundhog Day, where every day is the same, is really unusual. Apparently, the Proudfoots have another interview coming out soon, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my analysis of that. On the end card, I'll put my Sebastian Rogers playlist and my playlist of all 4 parts of this interview analysis. Until next time, stay true.
So there you go, guys. Very interesting. Okay. Let me look and see what I missed here. Okay. And when we were talking about the green tea, chemistry said sadness. Yes. Canine said, I felt sad. Such a happy soul is missing, not joy at all. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And Ginger feels that they're mocking him. She laughs and smiles way too much in her interviews. No wonder they don't want her to talk. She's not good at it. She makes herself look bad. I mean, when you look at Brandy Vaughn and you look at what was the other one that he talked about that we saw the other night? Those mothers, I mean, still crying after years, right? Not Katie. She was laughing within months, wasn't she? Yes. You know, I have to tell you that, let me see if I can find that. Look in my inbox. All right, let me share my screen. And this is a excerpt of what we're going to see allegedly tonight. Guys, I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm not impressed. I see misinformation. You tell me what you see. Okay. So
there is a $50,000 reward to help find him. Sebastian Rogers was about 5'5" when he was last seen, and he wears glasses. Sebastian is not comfortable with strangers.
If you're someone from this small town and you're in this neighborhood, check your cameras. There might be someone.
There is a 50.
So just a short little clip of what we're going to see. Okay. The first thing that they said, there's a $50,000 reward. So they're not acknowledging dogs at night. Part of the reward. Okay. Check your cameras. Guys, it's 14 months later. You know, how long are people supposed to keep their cameras? I mean, even from the iCloud, things get deleted, right? The other thing, Sebastian is not comfortable with strangers. I remember specifically Seth talking about that Sebastian loved to like go to the grocery store and do things with him, and that he had actually made friends with people. Sebastian's heart was that he wanted friends. I don't ever remember Seth saying that he was uncomfortable with strangers. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. But I'm telling you already, just this short little clip, I'm a little bit afraid of what we're going to see tonight. Yeah, you can always see the pain in Seth's face. Yes, you can. I don't think that they have a call-in part of their show, but there is a tip line. And people can call in while the show is going on. And with the amount of people that see it, that's happened a lot where they have found people. Yeah, we know the opposite is true, right? Because according to what Seth said in those reports, that Katie ignored Sebastian. Yeah, I wish I could find that picture because the pose that Katie did was not what Sebastian did. I don't like her either. She's fake, in my opinion. It's new to me that they're encouraging people to call in live on their show. They're encouraging people to call in while they're live, but they're not going to, I don't believe they'll show it. To my knowledge, they never have. And I've watched their shows, but I could be wrong. We can only hope that the circus clowns stay away from the phone lines. Yes, Pam. From everything that we are aware, there was some kind of camera in the vehicle that captured Sebastian's voice when they were pulling into the garage on their way home from TRH. So they have placed him at the home. Yeah. Well, just that little clip right there pissed me off. I'm just saying. That's right. That's what Seth said. He would not get into a car with someone he didn't know. That is good parental teaching, guys. That doesn't mean he's not comfortable with strangers. Sebastian wants friends. And he made friends at the grocery store and places that Seth took him to. So that doesn't to me sound like a child that is afraid to talk to somebody. Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, and it wasn't a dash cam, according to Chris, which is even more suspicious to me. Was it set up there just to prove something? He made it home. We got him home. And Pam feels Sebastian bucked up to KP and something happened. I honestly believe in watching the TRH video that Sebastian was told he was going somewhere that night. That's my honest thoughts. You know, it's all alleged, but that's my thinking. And so could he have bucked up to KP? Yeah. When he got home. He didn't do it in public. Why? If he's such a bad kid, according to Katie and Chris, why didn't he act up at TRH? He was excellent. His behavior was impeccable at TRH. There was nothing wrong with anything that he did there. He was very well behaved. Exactly, K9. From the videos we have seen, he doesn't look uncomfortable around anyone. And so that makes me question, one of the things that makes me question his autism diagnosis, right? If it's true that he does have it, if he was diagnosed correctly, then he doesn't have that part. In fact, he's so eager to have friends, he doesn't understand about being too close up to them, right? They said that he had a problem with personal boundaries, space, right? Exactly, chemistry. He was determined to make sure people knew it wasn't a dash cam, but why? I think part of Chris is that he wants to be right always. Okay? I think that he has to be right. And so to be able to say you're wrong, it wasn't a dash cam. Right? I think that's part of it, but could it be more? I don't know. Maybe. Watching him dancing at the outing with the other kids and adults debunks what they said. Where did you see that, Ginger? But yes, that would debunk what they said. Yeah, he was listening. He was behaving. He didn't do anything that the way that they had portrayed him in the beginning would make me. I mean, I was expecting him to be kind of the way that Chris and Katie had portrayed him in the beginning was someone who, I just couldn't sit still, couldn't focus, couldn't, somebody that had to be fidgeting and playing with stuff all the time. He wasn't like that at all at TRH. Oh, on Seth's channel. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. He's irritating. I mean, did he even go to college? Did he even finish high school? I mean, because we're not privy to that information. uh, I mean, you can tell by the way he talks. He wants to think he's so intelligent, but he's not. He is not at all. To get up on the stand and say machete. I mean, really, Chris. Yeah. Who of you would ever say something like that? Right? He flunked English class. Oh, man. Right. I agree. They didn't even get married until 2021. Hello, Neuro. So trying to fit in and being very friendly is a camouflage behavior of autism when they are aware of their own differences. So I try and do best friends straight away. Gotcha. See, I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a autistic child, but what I'm saying is that if he did have autism, I don't think, like they said, it was high functioning. I think his ADHD more played a role and his, I think he also has CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, because ADHD, my daughter loved meeting new people. She just was out there and met them all the time. His mommy protects him. Yeah. I think his mommy maybe, well, we're talking about mommy. We could, we're not supposed to talk about mommy, the truck, the billboards, right? Triggers for him. But that's interesting that those two didn't get married until 2021. They must have been living together. For sure, right? It's kind of interesting. I wish that Fox was going live with that, streaming it or something. Yep, that's right, K9. That's why I kind of said Let's not talk about mommy. Machete. Yeah. I mean, did he not realize how he came off in court when he said that? The way that he said it? ADHD clouds autism if not medically treated correctly. Once treated, you can see the autism more. That would make sense to me because ADHD is they're out there, they're in your face, they're right. I mean, they're. I know my daughter was, just like the green tea. Um, she was bubbly, she was cracking jokes, and always joyful. And from the minute she got up in the morning until she crashed at night, um, so I could see that. I could see how it would cloud autism because it could be more controlling. Um, I don't know if he didn't want billboards, but he sure didn't want. He was very triggered by at night's billboards. Gee, I wonder why. Right, chemistry. I've never heard it pronounced that way either. Just like, things we're privy to. He's pervy to. Pervy, all right. Yes, Seth did say Sebastian had been on. Yeah, he had been diagnosed a long time with ADHD. Yeah, exactly. It's machete. Machete. That's how it's pronounced. It's not machete. uh, I guess for the life of me, I do not understand what women see in him. I mean, come on, guys. How many wives you gotta have? uh, I'm just saying, allegedly, you're gonna have. He could be going on number 6 from what we're hearing. Yeah, poor Sebastian. He sure had a lot going on in his short life. He really did. Um, if he had been able to stay with his daddy, I think things could have been a lot different for him. I don't know. Do you consider him a bad boy? I don't. Oh my gosh. I do not consider Chris a bad boy. I don't. I don't have a word for him. Oh. I agree with you, Pam. 100%. however, I'm not gonna. For my child, when they put her on Ritalin, it changed her personality, and I said no, no, and I took her off. But I'm not gonna say that anyone is wrong for giving their child medication, right? Um, because I don't know their child. I'm not in their shoes, so I'm not gonna say it's all bad. But I will say this: when Sebastian was with Seth, and Seth was the stay-at-home mom, he took care of Sebastian and never had Sebastian on any medication. As soon as Katie took him, he was put on medication. So that does tell you something. And in those kind of cases, I disagree. Anger issues, yes. His anger issues would definitely. The minute I saw him getting angry at somebody, yeah, I would have been like, "See you, buddy." But I don't necessarily consider that a bad boy, right? I consider it I mean, I don't know. I guess it's what your definition of a bad boy is, right? I think Seth is a hottie. Then I didn't say that, Fred. Do you think he's a hottie? Just saying. I didn't say that. Yeah. Yeah. Mama's boy. That would be a perfect word for it. Yeah, he wants to be a bad boy. Gotcha. Yeah. And on some it will. If it's not changing their personality but helps them to focus, I don't have anything wrong with that. I had nothing against giving my daughter a medication if I thought it could help her focus. But when it changed her personality, I said no, right? Because I wasn't changing my child. So there's the difference, right? So, but yeah, so K9, that's what I would call him, is a mama's boy, not a bad boy. But that's me. We can agree to disagree. Yes, Seth did things with Sebastian, fishing. Katie left him in his room. Yeah, I mean, he even took him places, right? So even something as simple as going to the grocery store and interacting with people, he took him, right, to do that kind of stuff. So, you know. Yeah, I would have to say I agree as well. You don't do medication there. Yeah. The side effects can be bad. Definitely. My daughter complained about a stomach ache constantly. Constantly. So yeah. And she was sullen, morose, and not my bubbly, fun, joyful, mischievous, naughty little girl she used to be. She turned into this sullen child with a stomach ache. And I said no. Right? So, if you love your children, you're going to do what's best for them. Right? And what's best for my daughter in that case was to learn how to deal with her personality and with her ADHD learning problems, right? So I went and got books and books and books and learned how to help her to learn. Oh my gosh, Pam. Yes, absolutely. Sorry to hear that. We are praying for you. Lord Jesus, please send your healing power to Pam right now. Absolutely, hon. You let us know how you're doing. And why are you listening live when you're in the hospital having a heart attack? I love your devotion, but you got our prayers. I'm glad you came in to tell us that. Oh my goodness. So, it is going to be interesting when Mr. Yummy does do the analysis of Katie and Chris on America's Most Wanted. That's going to be really interesting, I think. Um, oh, I'm glad, Pam. I can bring any soothing to you right now. Your daughter is blind and hearing impaired. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I get the hearing impaired because I am hearing impaired, very much so, but yeah. How old is she, Pam? Oh, thank you guys. See, I don't consider my voice relaxing either. But I'm glad you guys find it to be that way. And I'm glad you guys feel that this is a safe place, right? Pam wouldn't be in here while she's in the ER. She's an awesome woman, 50 years old. Gotcha. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. It's amazing how many people I have met in chat that have had either know somebody or has hearing issues, things. And I mean, autism and ADHD, all those things, right? It's more prevalent than we realize. Much more prevalent than we realize. But yeah, so that is supposed to show America's Most Wanted is supposed to be on at 7:00 Central Time. Whatever that is in your time, I don't know. 8 Eastern. So, on Fox. And then on Hulu tomorrow, which I'm not subscribed to Hulu. I'm not going to subscribe just for one show. But I don't have cable. So I don't know that I could actually, unless it was showing on screen, I don't know that I could actually see it. But I'm sure somebody will be watching it and we'll play it back for us. But I gotta tell you, this little clip that we just saw, and you can see Elizabeth Smart is there. She's sitting in the green dress. Well, she's right here. They've got Sebastian behind them on the TV. I don't really know the rest of these people, but this one right here is the one that said, check your cameras. I'm like, guy, you don't think that the cameras weren't checked 14 months ago? Like, oh my gosh. Oh. I mean, literally, how stupid is that? I think Justin will play it. Gotcha. ADHD is 6%. Autism is 1 to 2%. In relation to what, Neural? And why wouldn't America's Most Wanted not give credence to the reward that Dog and At Night have put out? They're only mentioning the FBI reward of $50,000. So why are they not giving credence to Dog and At Night? She lives in Muskogee, Oklahoma, close to the blind school. I was amazed that the city's restaurants have Braille. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Not impressed. And if that is the narrative that Katie and Chris are putting out, once again, Seth is not going to be thrilled, in my opinion. Did anybody hear Justin say that when CP went to get his fifth wheel that he found out 100% that 2 people were with him? I don't have time to watch those, so I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, me too, but they're not off to a good start with their trailer, are they? I mean, already those of us who have watched this case since the beginning know more than what they're saying. And that's just wrong on so many levels, right? I don't know. I'm really hoping that some tips come in, right? But I would imagine that any tips that they get will be given over to Sumner County being the lead investigating agency. So I don't know. I don't know how comfortable you guys are with that, but I would rather see the FBI getting the tips than Sumner. I just don't trust them. I did see something very interesting, guys. And I guess actually I'll show it to you and you can tell me if you want to see it. Let me see if I can find it in here. If you do, we can look at it tomorrow night, possibly. Let me see. Okay, maybe it's in here. Mike DeMann did an interesting, or is going to do an interesting statement analysis. Okay, well, let me share this tab. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't make it any bigger. Wait, so maybe I can do it.
Hello, everybody.
And you can see the
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
I'm Mike DeMann, and welcome to
basically-
my channel. So here's a statement
Eric Craddock Snuggle
That's been
Struggle
brought
Analyzed.
to
Trigger
my
warning.
attention a few months ago,
And he does a video
and
on
my
it.
first reaction was, I ain't gonna touch it. But
Gotta
I am
run
going
more
to do it
tests.
now.
Okay. Well, we're praying
And-
for you, Pam.
Here's my trigger warning. The statement deals with the term rape, and I am analyzing the meaning
So
behind
anyway,
it.
Mike DeMann, one of
What
our
are the
statement
intentions
analysis,
of the person who made the statement?
decided to do a statement analysis
And,
of Eric Craddock's Snuggle Struggle
Well, you will
statement.
see.
You
So
guys
if
want to watch that maybe tomorrow night?
you think you're going to be triggered, please turn off right now or turn off this
Are you interested?
video at this particular moment, because a subject matter like this, the one
found
thing
that
I
kinda
cannot do
funny.
is hold back.
Whoa.
I have two choices. I either ignore something completely, or I say it as it
And
is.
Pam, keep in mind they run more
And-
tests just to rule things out. So
I don't believe in
Stay
sugarcoating
calm.
anything,
Stay
simply
calm,
because I feel like it's
we're praying for you.
I feel like it's more offensive to do that, and it downplays what some people are dealing with, struggling with, trauma-wise.
So what do you guys
And
think? Do you want to go over Eric's
The statement
Mike
is
DeMann
from
statement?
Sheriff Eric Craddock, I believe Sumner County, right? By the way, I looked him up, and it said something about is he
Well,
living
that's
in
true.
Gallatin? Is he from Gallatin?
And hopefully we'll
Is there
have
any
the video
chance he
that
may
we can
actually
watch
be related
tomorrow
to the Bauer success? Or
America's
because
Most
I made
Well,
a
didn't
comment
know
that
we could- it's probably trademarked.
he
I
had
don't know that we could
there
probably
was
watch
one
it,
of you
but
guys posted a
yeah,
picture
we can
of him
certainly
on
talk
X
about
and
it.
said
Maybe
he has the same dull facial expression as has
what I
Chris
can
Wood.
do is
And one of you guys said they're probably
Mark
related.
down some of the thoughts.
And
so I
yeah,
can
it's
find
very
it.
possible
Watch
that they
it.
are distantly related. I don't know. If you know something, always feel free to immediately comment. Let me know what you know. This is a team.
I think it's
thing.
kind of funny that
So I think
this
that
stuff is coming out.
Was it 2023 or was it? No,
Like
I
what-
think the statement actually was from 10 years ago, right?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Because on my end, it says,
There's actual
geez, I should have thought about
physical Facebook evidence that
that, right? Let me look.
he was replying to someone and he said that.
23 June
Joke.
13.
In my opinion,
So that makes me think it would be
and no
June 23rd of
nobody
2013,
that
right?
I've ever heard
That
thinks.
would have been before he was a sheriff,
Yes, he did say
but
it.
already in law
before he
enforcement,
was
right?
a sheriff.
Right?
I think he was still a deputy when he said
So-
it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when he said
Mr.
it.
Wonka,
Right?
he
Hello, Noni.
replied to somebody, and I haven't checked what it is what it is in reply to. But here's
Yeah,
a
I
statement
saw
by
it.
Eric Craddock.
Wow.
And by the way, watch my video
Maybe
about his
just a
statement
couple of
about
months after
Sebastian Rogers'
Sebastian
case.
went missing,
He
I
is
saw
in
it on
no
Facebook.
hurry to solve this case.
somebody pointed out.
Solving
So
this
I went
case
to
would
his.
bring a huge embarrassment to his department.
I actually went
And they
to
have
his
failed
Facebook
to-
and saw
It
it.
took
there.
them 3 days to finally say, something's wrong here.
Really
What do you
sad.
think? And then, he said there was a 180-degree turn, meaning looking back at the Proudfoot.
It kind of
I
gives
talked
you
about it in a
an
previous
insight
video.
to what
Feel free to watch it,
he
guys.
thinks of that,
What kind of guy is he?
right? Like he
Eric
thinks
Craddock
that's okay.
said,
And you have to wonder
rape
with trafficking
is such a
so
strong
big
word.
in this state.
I prefer snuggle.
Just saying, guys,
struggle.
it's not a good thing for a sheriff to be saying
So-
something like that.
One thing he does not do is
Not a
downplay
good thing at all.
rape. He says such a strong word.
Oh, I
He
didn't.
acknowledges
Sorry. But oh yeah. Were you guys hearing that? Because I didn't have my headset on, so were you hearing it already? If you were, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Told me all I need to know about what kind or type of man he is. Yeah. Yeah. Is he one of those that gets paid under the table? I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Not going to go after law enforcement because Seth does not want us to. They're working with him. And I would hate to be the person that caused any problems from that, right? But yeah, that's, in my opinion, that's just not good. It's not right, and it shouldn't be happening. But I wish I should have saved all the pictures of Sebastian that Katie was putting out there. I didn't save them all because that one picture of him, she said, on a big flamingo. See if I have it. Just looking here. He was not reclining back like she said he was. She actually lied about that. Yeah, I don't see it. Hmm. No, none of us have to like him. I don't like him. That's right. And yes, he does. Not only that, I mean, he works in law enforcement, so you know, guards hear things, guys. You know that they do. Is is it? Wow. That's funny. If it is, I missed it, Ginger. I missed it completely. And I like what you said, Noni. Seth is who matters right now, right? And when Sebastian gets home, Seth takes a little bit of a back seat because Sebastian's going to be the one that needs attention and care, which I know that Seth will give him. I know he will. But I did want to share with you today's grannyism. So, Mr. Yummy's title was Katie's Slip Up. And Nat King Cole said, people don't slip, time catches up with them. Tell a lie once and all your truths become questionable. That was on the background for today, but people don't slip. Time catches up with them. So very true, Noni. They could make Seth's life even more difficult. Even worse, in the beginning, they weren't even talking to him, right? So at least now he's got good open communication with law enforcement, and he does need that. And so I would not want to be the one creator that caused an issue for him with that, right? Would never want that to happen. So once Sebastian is found, though, all bets are off. I'm just saying. And I say that because of the corruption that we're finding in Tennessee as a whole, let alone that county. Yeah. Yep, about 45 minutes. That's what I thought, Noni. I try to look at, find a quote that will fit. I don't make them up. I never have made a quote up. I always go and find them, and I always try to find something that's going to fit what we're talking about. This one was perfect. I know I won't be. I know everyone else is just as skeptical as I am in that regard. Yeah. Yeah. It's a matter of time, right? It's just a matter of time. I do believe that Sebastian will be found. Yeah. Just in time to get dinner down first. Yeah. And I'm going to go and see if I can figure out how to watch it live on Fox, if I can. I don't know. I don't know. So, all right, guys, that's all I had for today. You know, guys, if you see where anybody is streaming it, please email me, let me know, send it to me at Granny's Crime Busters, all one word. Don't forget the S between Granny and Crime Busters, Granny's Crime Busters at gmail.com. Let me know where you see it being streamed at, because I really want to watch it, maybe even record it if I can. So, cut short a little bit earlier tonight, just so that we can hopefully maybe find out where it's where it's being streamed, or if you have Fox, you may be able to watch it on your TV. I don't have cable, so I won't be able to. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. We have such good discussions in here. And please, please keep Pam in your prayers, guys. She needs our prayers. She's in the emergency room now, so let's lift her up. Pray that AMW brings awareness and new leads and tips, yes, and not false information. Gosh, I hope that stupid video isn't being promoted on there either. The one that Katie and Chris are talking about. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granny'scrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.